Well, good afternoon. We're going to start the afternoon session, and we were expecting the attorney to be here at 1 o'clock, but it seems like the attorney is running a little bit behind. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the internet marketing or the Craigslist campaigns, and I think it's going to be beneficial for everybody to understand how to promote your website, if you have a website, to promote it online. As I said before, it is important that you have to understand and realize that if you have a website and you're not promoting your website, it's like having an open house that nobody came. Your website is not going to give you the results that you need. So in order to do that, we're going to present Frank, the web guru.
Yeah.
So go, Frank, the web guru. Woo! Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Oh, I can hear myself. I like that. Now, if it gets it is a little loud. Let me just see if I can do a little adjustment. Test. Okay, very good. In case you forget who I am, it's front and back, Frank the Web Guru. I am the owner, designer of REOs2.com. Let me skip one to this slide. My first question is, by show of hands, how many of you are my members now and have my website? Yeah, I thought there'd be a lot of folks here. Great. Because there's going to be a lot of teaching and learning for those folks who just raised their hands. It says your distressed property training, legal, and marketing team. What I've put together, and many of you already know this, is something very unique. A combination that there's really nothing else in the country like it, of training with one of the absolute greatest trainers around. Big applause for Ronnie, please. I was just looking and I said, is that Nick? The attorney's name is Nick Gepelt. Going, is that Nick? No, that's not Nick. Legal team, there's a half a dozen attorneys that are part of our network. Renee Linares, Rafi Bulgurjian, Laura Klaver, Art Matthews, Susan Salahi, to help you answer your questions and your Upside Down Sellers questions about their particular situation. So training, legal, and of course marketing team, that must be me. It says Frank the Web Guru. Now, let's get to this slide. Please hold your questions until I ask for them after each area that I teach. You'll have several opportunities to ask questions. So if you think of something, write it down and then, oops, I just hit, there we go. Write it down and I'll get to them at the appropriate time. Now, a little background about me. I've been a real estate agent and trainer since 1985. Long time. And yes, yeah, I know. That picture's 30 years old, everyone, all right? 30 years old. And if you can read this, it says November 1993, I used to teach a prospecting class, an all-day prospecting class that focused on FSBOs and expireds. How many of you, I'm curious, have worked in the past or are working now FSBOs and expireds? Raise your hands. So the market has changed, all right? A few years ago, you'd find a lot more FSBOs, right? And anyway, I set a national prospecting record with a group of 33 real estate agents. And let's see, which is the pointer? Right over. Okay, it says a call night for the record books. This is an article from the National Real Estate Magazine published by ERA. And I had a group of 33 of their agents. They came to my all-day class. I used to teach a class from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. That's right. One class, most of the day we were rehearsing and practicing the special scripts that I wrote for FSBOs and expireds. Then for a couple of hours they'd see me get on the phone over a speakerphone, and I'd call FSBOs and expireds live with an agent sitting beside me, one of my students. And we'd have the script laid out on the table, and I'd sit here, and my student, the agent, would sit there, speakerphone turned on so the whole room could hear the call. And if the FSBO says, I don't want to pay the commission, I quickly point to the agent what to say. If the FSBO said, I only want to pay 3%, I quickly point to another technique on that script. And the agent would, so in other words, it was my mind, the agent's mouth. We had an hour dinner break, and then from 6 to 8 p.m., this was at Fidelity National Title, this particular class, we actually were there at their location so that every one of my students, every one of the agents, 33 of them, had their own phone. We had a ton of FSBOs and expired prospect phone numbers. And we called them, and if I can read that print, it says, is it possible to obtain over 300 appointments? 300 appointments. With FSBOs and expireds in a single call night, that's exactly what 33 sales associates from 5 ERA offices in Southern California recently did. Skip to the bottom. The dramatic result was a grand total of 304 appointments in just over 2 hours. An astonishing average of over 9 appointments per sales associate, and the results keep coming in. Okay, participants reported 29 additional appointments as a result of callbacks after the event, for a total of 333 listing appointments in just 2 hours with 33 agents and over 100 listings taken. Now, that's all free for you. My scripts, I've written a book called The Greatest Hits of Real Estate, with the 204 greatest hits, greatest real estate closes of all time. I've digitized everything, it's up online. You're not only going to get my book, you'll get the FSBO and expired scripts. I know the market is right now, but it'll come back, okay? Markets always go like this, guys and gals. I don't know how long you've been in real estate. I've been in real estate since 1985. So believe me, FSBOs and expireds, they'll come back. And so you'll get my FSBO telephone prospecting script, expired telephone prospecting script, FSBO, listing presentation script, 12 audio training downloads, all free. Make sure I get your business card. Chris has been collecting them, and I will email you the login and the password so you can download all that free stuff. And the next, okay, there we go. Now, ooh, mystery. Take a look at this. I'm not going to tell you what this is. Not yet. This is my grand finale. As you can tell, I'm into theatrics. A little Hollywood here. And behind this curtain, see, behind this curtain is the fastest, easiest, cheapest, and most effective way for you to get commissions. What? Is that a mouthful I just said? Fastest, easiest, cheapest, most effective way for you to get commissions. I'm not going to tell you until the end. Now, I'll tell you this much. I don't sell it. It's 75 bucks. I'll tell you where to get it. It's one time. 75 bucks. Never have to buy anything again. And you'll find it to be, I'll say it again, the fastest, easiest, cheapest, and most effective way to get commissions. That's my little surprise. We'll save to the end. All right. Still getting used to Ronnie's click here. Okay. Ronnie teaches, and you've been taking already a couple of his classes, or most of you were here on Friday or here today. And when you graduate from all of Ronnie's classes, now he has his loan modification. How many of you have not yet gone to Ronnie's short sale and loan modification class? Not yet gone to it. Okay, Ronnie, you can't raise your hand, Ronnie, I'm sorry. You teach it, okay? So those of you who haven't, you definitely have to go to that. And when you go to all, now, I know you were talking about some of your classes earlier. I know there's 4. There's the short sale loan modification class you teach on Friday. This morning's class, the short sale profits class. You're working with buyers class. Does everybody know the date and time for that one, Ronnie, coming up?
I told them it's in the website under the calendar, yeah.
Okay, that's 3, and then
I have the open house training class, and then I have the
4.
contact database training class.
What database?
Contact database training class, and the last one is the working by referrals.
See, you got to send me a little bit more of an update so I can now advertise all 6. And everybody will be able to get the dates and times for all those classes coming up?
Yeah, and that also doesn't include the Saturday training, because I do the Saturday trainings and I do the buyer consultation, the listing appointment, and the short sale appointment. So I do all 3 appointments for all 3 types.
Fantastic. When you complete all his classes, you can get the ADPS, that's his certification, Accredited Distressed Property Specialist, and you'll download it from my website, the reostu.com website, and the ADPS logo will go on the website, of course, already, for those of you who've got my reostu.com website. A little hard to see. Banks recognize, thank you, that's a good one, thank you. Good, my lighting guy.
There you go.
Okay, banks recognize Ronnie's training. Ronnie's been teaching, now this is his 3rd year, he's literally taught thousands of agents have come through his programs. And so we did a program with Bank of America in October at the Inland Gateway Association of Realtors, my company, reostu.com, Bank of America, short sale training, and of course it's Ronnie's short sale training. And coming up, well, oops, that's too soon. Let's go, I gotta click inside here. Coming up, our programs with Chase and Wells Fargo. And make sure we get your business card. We'll keep you guys up to date on when those classes or when that event will be, okay? Now here is Bank of America talking about our ADPS certification. Oops, they're talking about it if I click on it.
Something that we've done when we've looked at our own portfolio is we've seen agents that are educated, that understand how the short sale process works, they understand the market, are much more successful at closing short sales. So we're very supportive of these kind of designations and the support it does for our customers. So we get tens of thousands of offers a month. We closed last year just under 93,000 short sales, so deals are starting to close. We're very pleased with that. We're obviously approving more in volume, but the percentages of short sales that are being approved is increasing, and I think even more importantly, the percentage that is closing has been growing very, very rapidly.
So when you enroll, as some of you have, you know I emailed you that logo so that you can add that to your business cards, your flyers, and so forth, because Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo all recognize the ADPS certification. Now, one of the things I say frequently, because I've been doing this for a long time, since 1985, it's really not the market. It's your marketing. Thanks, One Life. Thanks, Ronnie. It's not the market, it's your market. Markets change. How many of you have been in real estate, let's say, well, okay, since 1980, the last big one, let's say 87, 88, 89, since 1987. Anybody been in real estate since 1987? Daryl has, Fia, right? Right. Fia has, a couple others have, okay. For the rest of you, in 88, 89, 90, we had a boom. 3% a month. A month it was going up before it crashed in 91. Took a good 8-9 years for the market to recover. Didn't recover really until late 1998. Then you know the recent boom that we've had and the crash. So it's not the market. In your offices, and I may be talking to some of those agents right here today, in any market, there'll always be a certain percentage of agents who are very successful and bring in deals and close transactions and get commissions. In any market, they've learned to adapt. Would you agree with me on that? Say yes. Yes. Absolutely. So I always say it's not the market, it's your marketing, and of course that's why it says the Web Guru across the front here. Let's talk a little bit about the marketing. Companies, and you recognize these instantly, companies spend literally millions of dollars, don't they, on developing their brand names, picking, it wasn't by accident one day that Verizon became Verizon, and they picked red and that swooshing check mark, where they came out with a dishwashing liquid, and they called it Joy, and companies spend millions of dollars test marketing, and then developing their brand names, don't they? So one of my favorite sayings is, and you can see these are smart, big, successful companies. They've done a lot of planning to get that way. One of my favorite sayings is, if you fail to plan on failing. Okay? Now that's one of the reasons why Ronnie and I are glad to have you guys here training and learning. Because you don't want to plan on failing, you're now learning to be successful. So if you want to want more commissions, be a better marketer. And let's do a little out loud trivia test here. I'm going to click this, right? I'm going to click and show you some logos, company logos. And I'm going to test how well these companies have implanted their name, their brand name, along with that logo into your head. So you're just going to shout out what brand name that you recognize of that company logo. You ready? What brand name is this? McDonald's. What brand name is this? Pepsi. What brand name is this? Starbucks. What brand name is this? Target. And who's the best real estate agent? You are. Now we just got to learn how to convince our prospects that you're the best real estate agent, right? So moving on to our next slide. Let's first of all talk about domain names. And some of you were asking me about this, interestingly enough, earlier. My recommendation, first of all, is you go to GoDaddy.com. We've all heard of it. They're the best for buying domain names. They also have 24/7 live customer service and support. You can't beat that. 24/7 live customer support. So buy your domain names from GoDaddy. Now, those of you who have enrolled for my system know that I gave you a temporary domain name. Oops, how am I doing? What just happened? I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. So I'm here, it's still here. Wait a minute. I didn't do anything.
I don't know.
Neither did I.
I did it.
You did it?
Okay.
Let's see.
So search. I don't need to be connected to the internet, so I'm not connected. Now I do have an extra projector in my van. I always come prepared, but let's hope we don't have to do that. Has to happen with me, right? Your guest computer setting up image. Oh, all right. I don't know what that was. Thank you, Ronnie. Yeah. I guess I'll got to be careful of when I push on your magic little clicker here. Okay. You know, those of you who enrolled already for my system, I've given you what I call a temporary domain name. Yeah. And your temporary domain name is your first name, last name, first name, last name, .shortsale7.com. Temporary domain name. I encourage you, if you haven't already done so, is to get a stronger, more powerful domain name. That well, no, I don't want to give any hints on this guy. I'll save the big surprise to later. But you're going to go to GoDaddy.com, and here's how you can do a fast lookup. You click on bulk search, not the individual name search. See, that's for individual domains. Click on bulk search. When you click on bulk search, a new page will open that allows you to enter up to 500 domain names. You're not going to enter 500, but you know, there's probably 10, 15, 20 good sounding domain names that you're thinking of that either with a combination of your name or the market area that you work. So you can type them in and then it'll do one search all at the same time. Now, Pi's here, great.
Yes.
And it's pronounced Creedon, yes? Okay. Interestingly enough, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, Pi calls my office and I speak to the gentleman.
Maria.
Oh, Maria.
She's on my team.
Hi, Maria. Hi, Maria, on your team, on her team. They wanted to know about domain names. So I said, well, let's go to GoDaddy.com. And my suggestion, of course, and we all know this, you want to keep your domain name as short as possible, as easy to spell as possible, okay? And I said, you know, what area do you work? South Bay. Believe it or not, and we know the market has been upside down and focusing on REOs and short sales for, what, 3 years, right? This was still available. REOs, South Bay. You don't think there's any other real estate agents in the South Bay who work REOs? But none of them spent $10 to grab that domain name. And that's a fantastic domain name, reosouthbay.com. Everybody knows how to spell it the first time you hear it. Now, one of the things that I may be getting ahead at various portions of my clicks, but one of the things you want to do to more effectively market your website, many of you have websites, not just mine, but have your own websites. And here's a simple little tip which so many agents overlook, a great way to drive more traffic to your website and pick up prospects and, of course, eventual commissions for yourself. It's so simple. Just re-record your voicemail greeting and invite your prospects to visit your website. Not hard to do, is it? So it's, hi, this is Pi. Love that name. Is it, I just got to ask you, is it short for something else?
Yeah, it's short for Sweetie Pie.
I like that. I like that. Can I now edit your website and put Sweetie Pie on there? So anyways, she's going to re-record, if she hasn't done this already, on her voicemail and say, hi, this is Pi Creedon with Century 21, which office?
Union Realty.
Century 20 Union Realty, thank you. Your message is important. Please leave me your name and number and I'll get back to you. Meanwhile, please visit my website, reosouthbay.com. You only have to say it once, they'd remember that, right? And they know how to spell it, wouldn't they? And driving traffic to your website. Simple tip, all of you should be doing that now with your websites, okay? Now, I've got some suggested domain names for you right here. See, I told you I was ahead of myself. Change your voice. That was to remind me of what I just told you, so now I don't have time left here. But I've given you dozens of suggestions in the email. Those of you who have my system now know that when after you signed up, I sent you an email with these suggested domain names. Your first name for arios.com, your first name for shortsales.com, so on and so forth. Help save my home in LAcounty.com, OrangeCounty.com, whatever. So I've given you some suggestions. I'm sure you have a lot of other ideas for domain names that you can think of. Now you know how to research them on GoDaddy and get them. Now here's the next important thing. Talking to those of you who are my members now, you want to forward the domain name that you bought, as Pi has done, ariosouthbay.com, actually hits her name, piecretin.shortsalesun.com. But that doesn't show in the address bar. It only shows ariosouthbay.com. Let me show you how simple and easy it is to forward your domain name. It's called forwarding your domain name with masking. With masking, so that only the new domain name that you bought at GoDaddy will display for your prospects when they visit your site. This is so simple, guys, okay? So once you buy your domain name at GoDaddy.com and you log in, thank you, with your username and password, you log in, you're going to click on My Account. And by the way, again, here's their phone number. They have 24/7 service, including Spanish. You click on My Account, a new page will open, and the first listing that you see will show domains. So you're going to click on domains or you click on launch. Either one, it will open the next page, and what will drop down is your domains that you have on GoDaddy. I own nearly 1,000 domain names, and one of my favorites is superhomedeals.com. So you'll see, you would see, as you've already done, ariosouthbay.com. You click on launch, and it takes you to the next page on GoDaddy, and you're going to look to the bottom of the page. It says forwarding. You notice how mine is already, superhomedeals.com is already being forwarded with masking. You click on manage. So again, bottom of the page, manage. Look up to this page. It'll say forward, in this case, since this is my domain, superhomedeals.com, or in Pi's case, it said forward ariosouthbay.com to, and she wrote in her name, Pi, www.piecretin.shortsalesun.com. Choose forward with masking, and that's the only domain name. The new one that you just bought will display. Click OK. Usually within an hour, the entire world sees your domain name. Thank you, Ronnie. Sometimes they tell you it could take up to a day on GoDaddy, but my experience is it's usually within an hour, okay? Now, questions, any questions on domain names? This is the time to ask me questions on domain names. Yes, Sandy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So you can have several and send it to that?
So that's a great question. Several domain names is what you're saying.
Correct.
You could have 10 million domain names all pointing to one domain name. There's no limit. And lots of folks do that, of course.
Yeah, because you can do short.
It picks up more traffic from the internet, absolutely. More questions on domain names. Domain names? Oh, nice, Nick. I'm on. Nick, it is Nick, yes?
Yes.
Let's welcome our attorney, but now you got to wait for me. Then it was my fault. Okay, sorry. I said, okay. Anyways, but Nick will follow me, and he's going to be teaching you guys great stuff about the law, bankruptcy, and so forth. All right.
But the one thing that I do want to mention, and I think I'm going to piggyback on what you said, is regarding getting a domain name that makes sense for what you're looking to promote. Because you have to remember, and I want to piggyback on this because this is important, you have to remember that when the search engines are going to pick up the stuff, they're not going to, it's more likely that they're going to pick up something like Buena Park Short Sales then they're gonna pick up RonnieVelasquez.com. I mean, you know, people are not looking for RonnieVelasquez.com. They are looking for Buena Park short sales. They're looking for Buena Park REOs and things like that. So it is important that you have as many domain names as you can with that type of information, so the websites, Google and Yahoo and all those websites pick on you, all right? One example would be that Stalishnaya Kotrapali Schwarzenegger.com was not gonna work, right?
What language was
And
that?
I gotta tell you, I wrote it down because it's funny, because I know that we like our names a lot, you know, and we know how to write them, but I have seen some websites of some people that are like Schwarzenegger. Who in the world knows how to spell Schwarzenegger, right? So what I'm saying is you have to get something that it relates to what you're trying to sell, basically.
Absolutely, that's good marketing, absolutely. All right, moving on. Craigslist. Craigslist beats these combined. Los Angeles Times, Orange County Register, Inland Empire Press Telegram.
Wow.
Craigslist gets more home buyers, more home sellers, more renters, visiting its real estate section than all three of these combined. So the question is, how many buyers and sellers are buying and listing with you from Craigslist? If the answer is 0, or almost ever, Frank, let me show you some ways to make money on Craigslist. All right, first of all, Craigslist is the 10th most popular website in the United States. The 10th most popular. Number 1, as expected, Google. Number 2, Facebook. 3, YouTube. Number 10, Craigslist. Craigslist gets 8 million unique visitors every month and over 2 billion page views. Lots and lots of folks visit Craigslist. Now, if I was a salesperson for Los Angeles Times, and I said, the classified section, I said, hey, guess what, guys? The LA Times is going to make you the best offer you've ever heard. This month and this month only, you can advertise as much as you want in our real estate classified section for free. You'd be like, all night, how many ads can I place? And wouldn't you build like tons and tons of ads? Okay. And you know, it would last a month and then they want to charge you up the kazoo. Craigslist is always free. We know that. And again, more home buyers, more of your prospects go to Craigslist than any place else. So again, the question is, how come more agents aren't using Craigslist and using it effectively? Let me show you some answers. All right. I've created what I call the Craigslist Lead Squeeze Marketing Power System. Now I'm going to show you a comparison with another, this guy is Jim Casey, and his company is realestatetechnologyexperts.com, okay? And he created a Craigslist marketing system. I'll try not to laugh, but when you see this, you'll understand about the comparison between what he created and what I've given those of you who already have my system. I don't know if you've actually got into the Craigslist yet.